So today I'm here with Robert and Jen. Robert, how long have you guys been homeless? How long have you been using blues?
I've been homeless for a little over 2 months, and I started using blues after I got out of rehab about 2.5 years ago.
And how did that rehab experience go for you?
It was good. I used to slam heroin and methamphetamines, and I went to rehab for that, and I got clean off of it. But when I got out of rehab, I started getting caught up with the pills, and I kind of been doing them ever since.
And what's your interpretation of
I no longer believe in drug addiction.
What's that?
Just so you no longer pleased with drug addiction.
Okay. What's your guys' what's your interpretation of blues? How would you describe it to somebody that doesn't know what it is?
It is man-made synthetic opiate. It has fentanyl. It's a fentanyl. It's a fake Percocet. It's made with fentanyl. It's a man-made, opiate. And it's extremely dangerous because every pill has a different amount of fentanyl in it. That's why you hear about so many deaths, because if somebody tries it for the first time, they might be trying the wrong pill, and it might have more fentanyl than they're used to, and then
what would you say the biggest difference is between H and blues?
honestly, nobody slams blues really. I mean, there is some people out there that do, but most people just smoke them. With black, a lot of people were slamming it.
What do you mean slam? What's
Shooting it up.
Got it.
Yeah. The blues, a lot of people shoot them up, but I mean, there's some, but I mean, most of the time they don't.
Why do you think so many people smoke them?
Just easier. Your body metabolizes it faster, so you get higher quicker, but it doesn't last as long, but it's an instantaneous high.
And do your guys' families know where you're at and what you're living through?
Yes and no. They know I'm out here, dealing with the drug life and whatnot, but they don't know what blues are. They think I'm just doing pills.
And Jen, did you guys go to high school here? Are you guys from here locally?
I'm from here. I went to high school here.
I don't think either of us really went to school. I went to whichever one would take me. Whichever one would take us, really. But
Whichever one took you because you moved a lot, or why?
No. Just because I was defiant. I was defiant, really defiant. I didn't understand what they were trying to tell me. When they said something, I thought they weren't speaking to me, apparently. And when I sat in the principal's office, I thought it was a relief. A relief. Because that meant I got to spend more time at home. And that sort of thing. You know what I mean? I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how the school ran. They had security, which was, for my behalf, really. When I would constantly skip class and spend 45 minutes in the bathroom, making fun of my friend for overdosing on oxycodone and peeing in the toilet. But, you know what I mean? And then there was never any boys. No, there was no kissing. Nothing like that. It was a constant search for nothing. It was a constant search. And, school sucked. So they placed me where they could find, which pretty much meant a portable trailer. You guys themselves pretty much. And, I would have had a box if the teacher left. But, I never went missing.
I tried to use the restroom real quick.
And we always made it to class on time because we never left the classroom. They trained us. They trained us.
And have you ever tried treatment?
Treatment. I don't understand if I could afford it. And then if you really want to go there, everybody acts like brats now. Meaning, they think they can act how they want, which was pretty much if you act out like that at a staff member, they sedate you. So good luck trying. Control your emotions. And it wasn't, nobody had any because they were all gone. They were all gone. And freaking you know, I mean, forget about the drugs. If somebody brought them in, you have to worry about. But I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You know what I mean? If you're really there for help, you understand. You know what I mean? If somebody had them, you know what I mean? Send them to the hospital because you know what I mean. It's the only thing they got coming. But that's what I understood. You know, I was constantly receiving threats for bringing in new needles, and I'm like, you know what? This is for my own, you know, self pleasure. It's what I use, you know. And anyways, yeah, treatment. I mean, it works or it doesn't. You know, it's like it's embarrassing having to admit to yourself. Well, it's like it's embarrassing having to admit somebody into a facility. You know, because not only do they not want to go to treatment sometimes, but they, you know, I've learned that I've kind of had to. But it wasn't even about that. It was having to hide or disclose somebody's identity for going into a treatment program, or not even a program. You know, just getting them into it. You know, facility, to a friggin' facility. I mean, and then some people are just like, you know, I mean, they, yeah, I've been to treatment.
Jen, when you were younger, what did you want to become as an adult?
God, I wanted to become a petroleum engineer.
Petroleum engineer. Are those the people?
Yeah, because I don't like, you know what I mean, figuring stuff out, pretty much. But, no, I learn it all, you know what I mean, I do my study, and, you know what I mean, I find people who have occupations themselves, and I get to know what they do at work. So, you know, I learn it really, you know what I mean, I learn what they do at work. Pretty much I just get to know, you know what I mean, like an occupation itself, and, you know, once I meet enough people and link up, all the people I know, finally I can get an occupation where I know somebody, and I can work, you know, that's my advantage.
And what advice would you give to young people or parents on the dangers of, you know, fentanyl or blues or anything else? Like, what would you tell them?
Drugs are dangerous, but don't drug test your kids.
Don't
drug test
don't
your
drug
kids.
test your
Don't
kids?
drug test your kids.
Why is that?
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. I knew what they were doing. So, and then once I became off drugs, I thought it was disrespectful. How dare you accuse me, or even think, or even look at me? How many more years do I have to be off of drugs for you to not try and drug test me? Just for, you know, walking the door, you know, that I have a key to, and or once owned. It's just I didn't understand it. I thought it was disrespectful. So I knew when the drug test came out that it was just time to leave home immediately, because they're trying to pin something on you.
How old were you when you left home?
I want to say I was probably 10 or 11.
You left home at 10 or 11 years of age?
Yeah, I moved in with some kids down the block, and then, you know, eventually we sorted ourselves out and got to know each other, you know, better. And we moved into a house that was somewhat, you know, nearby in a neighborhood, you know, undisclosed location, but freaking, you know, we moved in, and we lived there, and we, you know, we sacrificed ourselves. So,
What's the youngest person that you've seen out here on the streets?
the youngest person, I think I saw today, I think I saw one that was about 8 years old, 9 years old maybe. He spoke English, I mean, a little bit, but yeah, he was probably about 8 years old. Hey, Robert, how old was that kid that we saw earlier?
13.
13. He was 13, he said.
So you guys saw a 13-year-old here, Robert?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was smoking meth at the bus
And he was
stop.
one of the cleaner ones.
Yeah, and he was selling blues. He was like 4'0". I could not believe it when he came up to us and was like, "You guys want to buy blues?" He's like, you know, sorry, little mini thug. And I was just like, how old are you? And he was just like, old enough. And I was like, dude, seriously, how old are you? And he's just like 13. And I was like,
Yeah, I mean, because you're trying to say that.
yeah. I mean, he could have been younger. I mean,
I'm saying I'm going for 8.
Yeah,
and I'm
I
pretty good at
seriously would have
guessing.
thought he
I'm
was like
pretty
10.
good. I'm going at 8.
But I've also seen, you know, kids that look a lot younger. But I mean, this kid was tiny. He was so small, and he was sitting at the bus stop smoking with 40-year-old dudes, and like he broke the dude's pipe, and the dude got all pissed in his face, and he pulled out a big wad of cash. And it was bizarre.
Yeah.
It was definitely bizarre.
But being out here, you probably see a lot of bizarre things, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hand you some goodie bags that people have donated. Okay.
And,
There's this. If you could do me a favor and read that.
Awesome.
Noted that little.
Says, you know what you need to do, but it's not going to be easy. I'm asking God to give you the confidence to move forward and the courage to take that first step. I will instruct you and show you the way to go. With my eye on you, I will give you counsel. Psalms 32:8.
Awesome. So there's that one. Here's one more with water and goodies. Okay. So
Oh, yeah.
and
Thank
here's
you so
a
much.
here's a $10 gift card to
Awesome.
Walmart because you guys needed some toiletries or
Yeah.
you're gonna get some shirts or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna get her a new white tee. Cause, hers is a little.
You got a new one? I've been wearing this one for you don't really know how long. Trying to save my last one, you know. Had
Yeah.
it for weeks, wore it
Yeah.
for only special occasions.
right.
And then, another thing about these blues is like it turns people into zombies. I mean, I see people where one day they're a normal person, and I see them 2 weeks later, and they're not even there, and they're sitting there. They go through their pockets 100,000 times. It completely changes people for the worse, and it's the saddest thing I've seen. You know, I think people that were out here before, like doing heroin, handle a little bit better. With people that are just coming out getting on the blues, it's like a total reality flip for them, and it just changes them completely. Almost like when someone gets burned out on shrooms, almost.
So Robert and Jen, I'm gonna say thank you very much for opening up and sharing your story, your experience out here. I hope that one day you guys get clean and live a better life, but by you sharing your story, you're gonna be helping somebody, preventing other 13-year-olds from coming out here, okay?
Yeah.
So you should be proud of that. Your family should be proud of you sharing your story because how many people will you help, okay?
Yeah, if anyone ever has problems, man, we got places out here like Crossroads. That's where I went to. But any of the rehab facilities out here are awesome, and they give you the tools you need to get back on your feet and to stay clean. They really do.
Awesome. That's good to hear, Robert. Maybe you need to go visit Crossroads again and get off of here, okay? Because
Yeah.
you seem like a really good guy. Jen, you seem like a really good girl. And, it's just unfortunate that you guys are out here, okay? So please get well, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Yeah, thank you, man. God bless.